Hello guys, welcome to the channel, welcome to Blue Point TV, where we talk about football and football related stories. Please guys, if you're watching the video, follow the channel Blue Point TV on Facebook. Now, if you're watching the video on YouTube, subscribe to the channel Blue Point TV. Yeah, it means a lot in what we are doing. Guys, let's talk about Chelsea. We'll also talk about Callum Hudson-Odoi and others. We'll talk about players that Chelsea are trying to get and possible chipping in on other clubs with their transfers. Now there's an update for Callum Hudson-Odoi here. They said Lazio are now in advanced talk to sign Callum Hudson-Odoi from Chelsea as negotiations are progressing well. There is a Premier League club also keen on signing him, but Lazio are now ahead, considered good option by the player. And they also talk about the player here again. He said more on Hudson-Odoi. No truth in the report of loan deal with mandatory buy clause. Only permanent exit considered, but CFC as he is out of contract in 2024. Lazio are in concrete talks with Chelsea. There is one Premier League club too. Fulham appreciate Cho, but Silva future unclear. Now, based on what they are telling us on Hudson-Odoi, it seems he's leaving. No, he will leave the club. And based on the report, Lazio are very much interested in him. They want to sign him. I feel like it's a good move for him if he will go to Italy. As you know, most of the English players now are going to Italy, and Chelsea have sold so many players to the Italian league. So him going there, if he eventually goes there, it's a good move for him. And for me, the player hasn't shown the quality to be a Chelsea player. He hasn't been consistent enough. You know, as a young player, of course he's still young, but as a young player, most people thought he will be he'll be a long time playing for Chelsea. But for me, he hasn't been consistent. So it will be good for him to leave the club. So what's your take on this one? What's your take on Callum Hudson-Odoi leaving Chelsea? Right, let's talk about Olise. Now, Chelsea are interested in this player playing for Crystal Palace. Now, there's a report from Fabrizio Romano on this one. So, Chelsea and Manchester City have both Michael Olise in their list. Understand that his release clause into his contract around £35 million. Both clubs are waiting for clarity about his condition as he picked up injury last month. Now, based on what we are hearing here, Chelsea and Manchester City are interested in the player. And for me, for Chelsea, I'm not too sure if I would say they need the player. He's a good player, very good winger. Of course, he's still young, but I feel like Chelsea have this kind of player already in Angelo Gabriel, the young winger that Chelsea signed from Santos in Brazil. So I'm not too sure if I would say Chelsea need him. You know, but for Manchester City, you know, they sold Mahrez to Saudi Arabia. So possibly they want to replace him with Mahrez. So they want to replace him since Mahrez. They want to replace Mahrez with him. So since Mahrez is no more, I feel like that's the reason why they are linking him. But the player is already injured, so we'll see on that one if and which club, which of this club that the player will eventually join. So what's your thought on that one? Your thought on Sunday Olise? I mean Michael Olise, right? Now that this player at Chelsea wants to sign from the French league, from Ligue 1, that's an update from Fabrizio Romano on this one. He said, understand Chelsea are now advancing in talks to sign LEY agreement getting closer. Now, negotiation round scheduled with Montpellier. Chelsea plan include loan move for Wahi this season, then future. Chelsea want to accelerate next week as there is competitions. Now, there are other clubs interested in the same player. Young striker, I think, is a striker. Chelsea are trying to get the player. Now, we know the pattern of Chelsea now is to sign young players and loan them. Possibly they want to loan him to Strasbourg, the club that Chelsea just bought from the French league. So possibly if they get him, they want to loan him there. So According to reports, they said the player is very good. He did well last season for Montpellier. So yeah, what's your thought on this one? Do you think if Chelsea signed the player, how good do you think he will perform in years to come? Because I don't think he will play for Chelsea this season. The plan is to loan him out, you know. So what's your thought? What's your feeling on this one? Right, guys. Let's talk about Manchester United here. Now, Manchester United are interested in Rasmus Højlund, the young Danish striker from Atalanta. Now, there's a report on this one for Fabrizio Romano. He said Manchester United are now set to submit first official bid for Rasmus Højlund next week. PSG keeps speaking to player side. Man United are set to bid soon. They want to avoid any hijack. Man United agreed personal terms as revealed. Player priority. Now the player prefers to go to Manchester United. You know, they have already agreed personal terms with the player. He is very young, and I think he's expensive, according to reports. They're saying Atalanta want to sell him for around 60 to 70 million euros. This player is around 19 years, I think. And yeah, reports said he's very good, but as we know, he's still young. Will he be the striker for Manchester United? We'll see. But yeah, based on report, they say Manchester United are now preparing their bid for the player. So what's your thoughts on the player? Right, let's also talk about Newcastle. Yeah, Newcastle have just signed another player from Leicester City. They signed a player from Leicester City, and the report on this one, say official confirmed, Harvey Barnes joined Newcastle on £38 million deal from Leicester, contract until June 2028. Now, for me, I think he's a good player, very fast. He's a winger, playing for Leicester City. And as you know, Newcastle will be in the Champions League next season, so they have to, sign some decent players that will help them for next season, knowing that they will be in the Champions League next season. So I feel like he's a good player. He understands the league already, playing for Leicester City. And yeah, what's your thought on this one? What's your thought on the player leaving? Going to Newcastle United. Do you think he will do well for Newcastle? Because I feel he's also a good player. So your thought and your feeling on that one. All right, guys, let's talk about some Nigerian players here. Now, for me, I'm a Nigerian, so sometimes I used to talk about Nigerian players. Now there's a report from Fabrizio Romano here on Calvin Bassey. Now the player, I think we believe in Ajax this summer. Now Fulham are interested in the player. Now there's a report from Fabrizio Romano on this one. It says Fulham are set to sign Calvin Bassey. Here we go. Agreement reached today. Fee will be €21 million. Reported sell-on clause will be included. Bassey agreed a long-term deal with Fulham, and he is gonna sign next week. This player is a defender. He can play as a left back. He can also play as a strength defender, left footer. So I feel it's good for him coming to the Premier League. For me, the Premier League, as we know, the best league in the world. So coming to the Premier League will be good for him. We'll watch him closer, playing his club football. So I think it's a good move for the player coming to Premier League. All right, guys. Also, another Nigerian player. Honestly, I don't really know this one. Update again from Fabrizio Romano on this one. He said Bayer Leverkusen are set to sign Victor Boniface from Union Saint Gilloise. Dundee, here we go. Fee will be €20 million plus add-ons. It was advanced since yesterday and finally completed. Huge signing. Boniface will undergo medical today as called. Like I said, I don't know the player. I don't know if he's playing for the national team already. So the Nigerian fans Nanago know this player. When I will follow the ones who follow Nigerian national team. Of course, I follow them, but I'm not too deep in following the national team. So for this player, I feel say a good move for him. Now that club when they play for, I don't know the club. I think that club now unknown club to me. So coming to Bayer Leverkusen, a big club in Bundesliga, is good for him. So what's your thoughts on Boniface going to Bayer Leverkusen? I feel say that very good move for the player. So yeah, that's it for me on this one. So your thought on Boniface, your thought on Kevin Bassett, what's your feeling on Callum Hudson-Odoi, and also Michael Olise possibly coming to Chelsea? Drop it at the comment section. And guys, if you're watching the video, please follow the channel on Facebook and on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel if you're watching it. Thank you very much, and God bless you. While I see you again. Bye.